Hi everyone. Uh, s- this video is about my perspective on the Dalai Lama. Um, so he's considered, right, the spiritual leader of Buddhism. Came out with many books. I guess a lot of people look to him as a spiritual leader, especially for Buddhism. Um, and to learn from him. He's so happy, he's so peaceful, um, and all that good stuff. So here's my perspective, especially since we're in the awakened community here and everything we've heard about people, a lot of things we've heard about people is not really the case. So I don't have any proof, but just when you think about things a bit logically, things just don't make sense. So one thing about the Dalai Lama, right? He's the spiritual leader of Tibet, but Tibet was annexed by China decades ago, and you never hear about it. When Russia annexed Crimea, Krim in Russian, the world blew up over it, right? War. There's still war going on with part of Ukraine. Russia was sanctioned. Um, the people suffered, of course, the Russian people suffered because of the sanctions. But no, the appropriate action is to sanction Russia. It didn't affect Putin in any way or any of the leadership, whoever was behind the war in reality, but the people missed out on things, right? Israel been wanting to or talking about annexing Judea and Samaria. I mean, the UN comes out every time they meet. They come up with like at least 14 complaints against Israel and maybe one about Sudan or North Korea or Iran, 14 against Israel. Now, China annexed Tibet decades ago. We don't hear it once. And Dalai Lama meets with, he's like friends with politicians, celebrities. I think Tom Cruise has a picture with him. All these famous celebrities taking pictures. They're like good friends. Never once did they use their power, their influence to even once mention anything about Tibet being returned to its rightful people and Dalai Lama returned to his uh, leadership role. Never once did you even hear him say anything, but he's coming up with all these bestsellers. How do you come up when you are annexed, when you are in exile? How do you come up with all these bestsellers? And where does the money go? To maintain his monastery? Um, I read his Pursuit of Happiness, which is a bestseller, right? Bestseller. And ironically, the title of the book is like the first line or the Declaration, American Declaration of Independence has a kind of like on the top somewhere, the pursuit of happiness, that the USA is about protecting this ability, or people have the right, not to happiness, but to the pursuit of happiness. And that's what the US is built around. You're not guaranteed happiness here, but you have the opportunity to pursue it. Buddhism is not about that, though. Yet, Buddhism is in the contrary. You're happy when you're still. You find happiness and joy in stillness, not the pursuit of. So, but one of his bestsellers has the title, The Pursuit of Happiness, which kind of subconsciously, wouldn't you think like that would be a good title to click with the American audience, because the Americans are so used to pursuing happiness that they're going to just get that book like, yeah, let me get some more. Let me figure out how else I can get that. So I read that book years ago. It gave me nothing. It was kind of empty. I read the whole book. Can't really. Yeah, I had like a few things there. I was like kind of okay, nice tip there. But overall, it was pretty empty for me at least. But either way, it's it's just the biggest irony here is all these decades we never hear once, never hear anybody fighting for the Tibetan people. We have certain groups around the world that everybody's just gets so riled up. The Palestinians, for example, is a good example, but never the Tibetan people, even though many were killed, pushed off their land, their homes. It was decades ago. Same thing with the Armenian genocide. You never hear anything about that. There's like at least 1 million people were killed, no? Um, Yet he's just like everywhere and he's so happy and everybody just wants to be happy like him. And it's just like the personification of happiness and joy and bliss. And he's just everybody's friend. Yet where are his friends? If he really wanted to go back home, where are all these friends? Celebrities are using their platforms for so many things, but not for their dear friend. So yeah, since this awakening been turning, I have not heard anybody mention the Dalai Lama. It's like nobody cares anymore. But yeah, he's like been the leader of, we should listen to him about Buddhism, right? And spirituality and how to be happy. But it's like, who is this person in reality? I don't know who he is. I don't know how he got there. But something is just doesn't make sense here to me. So I just wanted to have that out there.